and our today topic will be all about the Westside Barbell Training program and its benefits. Earlier this week, I wrote about this training program and its benefits. So I also promised you that I'm going to give you some perfectly and day-to-day examples you can incorporate in your training regimen, also on a micro level. But let's just make a quick recap about what is the Westside Barbell program and all of its structural components. The Westside Barbell program, like I said, was developed by Simmons, who is a veteran powerlifter, and he achieved his elite status in 5 different bodyweight classes. He is located in Culver City in California, and there is also, believe it or not, training facility or gym based on this training program. There is like literally a Westside Barbell Club, because these training methods influence so many people, and it's also a science-based approach promoted not only by Simmons but also of his Russian and Bulgarian coaches and sports scientists. Simmons has always been active in giving seminars, of course, and interviews about his training system. His ability to talk about this took place in a rapid-fire fashion, along with the success, of course, and other athletes who used this system was quite impressive. Underline, I was impressed as well, because I use it also on my training regimen, and I really gain and in every aspect of all-round as an all-round athlete. And I will also recommend you to maybe just reconsider and implement this and try it as well. I would be glad to hear what you have to say about this. So the core of Westside program is 3 workout systems: the maximal effort method, the repeated effort method, and the dynamic method. The maximal effort method is used to create high levels of muscle tension. It accomplishes this by using a large number of sets for low reps. A typical set rep sequence might be to perform of 8 sets to 1 or 3 repetitions, with at least 3 sets using up to 95% of an individual 1 repetition maximal for our exercise. Typically, 2 maximal effort workouts should be performed each week, 1 for the upper body, of course, and 1 for the lower body. The second one would be the dynamic effort method, that actually uses the submaximal weights taken to a failure to create a high level of fatigueness in your muscle. As with the maximal effort method, a high number of sets and a low number of reps should be performed. The resistance is usually around 40 to 60% of the single repetition maximum for each lift. Bands and chains are often used to increase the resistance at the end of the movement, where the athletes are strongest in lifts such as the band press, squats, and deadlifts. An emphasis of moving the weight as quickly as possible is the focus, of course, in your workout, and you should remember this as well. A simple workout might consist of 8 sets from 1 to 3 repetitions with 60% of 1 repetition maximums, and the additional 20% through the resistance of bands and chains. As with maximal effort method, 2 dynamic effort method dates or workouts should be performed each week, also 1 for the upper body and 1 for the lower body. And the third method would be the repetition method. that uses considerably less work than maximal resistance and the dynamic method. So the repetition method uses less work with sets, a couple of sets taken to a failure. This method is used after the core lifts, for example, are performed on the dynamic effort and maximal effort days. So less sets and more repetition are performed. So they will be also incorporated in between. And such, for example, 3 or 4 sets, just a basic one with the 10 reps range to a failure can be used. All 4 workouts use repetition training after the primary exercise is performed with one of the other 2 training methods. So always in between. Although the intensity level is high during these workouts, the developer Simmons believes that using a variety of training methods and exercise helps avoid overtraining, but also hitting a plateau. So it will constantly move you and asking your body that your body will strictly just putting some gains. There is no other scenario really, and it also helps me really to cut my time in half, just putting my and keeping my muscle gain over and over again with 3 to 4 days per week using these training methods. Not more, not less. Sometimes I also even just put a day rest in between because of its high intensity that I usually can put on the spanning effort. So I'm just using all the comfortability between working day and days off. And I also have time for my own normal daily activities, which is quite amusing these days, considering that we are all busy and very tight on day-to-day schedule. So putting it all together, here is what the Westside Barbell workout should look like before, like a 4-day per week training regimen. So on the day 1, we should use a dynamic effort method. So I will put the bench press in the first row, and after doing the method, as I explained before, how it should be in a dynamic effort method, which is using a submaximal weight taken to a failure to create a high level of fatigueness. I will also use the support muscles and all around muscles to accelerate all of the lifts. So I will do the bench press as a primary workout and auxiliary lifts for shoulders, triceps, lats, and upper back. That will be practically my whole workout. On the day 2, I will use the maximal effort training method for squat or deadlift. You can choose one of them or even both. It depends on your workout skills. And of course there will be auxiliary lifts for hamstrings, lower back, and abs. The 3rd day should be like a day off. I would normally take a day off from it. And the day 4 will be again the maximal effort training, coming back to a bench press, and also auxiliary lifts for shoulders, triceps, lats, and upper back. So I will repeat the day 4 from the day 1 of training methods. The day 5 should be also a rest day, considerably that I will put a maximum effort a day before. So on the day 6, it's also reserved for the dynamic squat or deadlifts or a dynamic effort method for a submaximal weightlifting, of course. And there will be some auxiliary exercises for shoulders, triceps, lats, and upper back. The day 7 will be reserved as a resting day. But if you want to break it down even further, here's how a Westside Barbell workout program should look like for a single week. On Monday, I could also do a box squat, so that would be 1/3 of the squat with 8 sets, a maximum effort for 1 to 3 repetitions. Immediately after, I would do the repetition method with reverse hyperextension, either with body weight or even with the maybe 10% amount of additional weight to 20%. So I will do 4 sets with 10 repetitions. That will be one of type of the exercise. I can also do a standing crunch with cables, also with 5 to 4 sets with 15 repetition range. And that will be it. On Wednesday, I will also get back to a bench press with the same method, like 8 sets of maximal effort with 1 to 3 repetitions for a rep range of this exercise. And straight after, I would do a body weight dips, or even 10 to 20% of additional resistance with chains or resist bands on some additional weight. So triceps dips with 4 sets and 10 repetition rep range. After that, I will put some barbell triceps extensions, either with body weight as well, or a prisoner triceps extensions, triceps dips with also 4 sets of 10 repetition, a dumbbell row, also like 4 sets of 10 repetitions, and dumbbell shoulder shrugs, 4 sets of 10 repetitions. Friday, I will also, like I said, I will also incorporate a 1-day rest in between, because I'm considering the maximal effort and submaximal effort of weightlifting on my repetition, 1 repetition max. So it's a pretty much heavy loading with a large amount of sets, like I said before, and with a low rep range in between. So Friday will be reserved for a deadlift with some additional resistance through the bands or chains. So I will do 10 sets with maximal 2 or 3 repetitions, but it will be a dynamic effort day. And straight after, I will do the leg curl. So it's an incorporation of some kind of superset in between. So leg curl with 10 repetition with 3 to 4 sets. So my third options would be weighted incline sit-ups, or maybe just a normal sit-ups circuit with 3 or 4 exercises. I would do like maybe Russian twists, planks, and something like that, just to maybe put some extra burn in my core. Saturday should be reserved for also a dynamic effort day. So a bench press with bands is also again on the row with 8 sets. Saturday will be reserved for bench press with bands and the dynamic effort day within 8 sets of 1 to 3 rep range mode as well. The next exercise that I will put it in, it will be incline dumbbell bench press within 4 sets of 10 repetition. Then seated cable rows, 4 sets of 10 repetitions, and seated dumbbell shoulder presses, also within 4 sets and 10 repetitions. Reverse curls can be an optional and additional exercise. within the same rep range. So as you can see, it is a highly recommendable and quality behind this whole training program, and you can also put as many variety of the exercise as you can. It is a simply rule to rotate these 3 training methods, because the Simmons as well, he would like to call his training method as a conjugate sequence system, such as that is not a single workout proper, but a combination of these 3 workout systems that rotates constantly. For the reason you can consider it as a periodization model, and we all know about the periodization model that exists since the beginning practically of the workout of a single training regimen, so more than 70-80 years, and it's proven to be one of the most scientific proven method of doing any type of sport discipline that you're in. So this is just a simple example of the exercise combinations, but you can also put your own training regimen and your own type of exercise for your specific niche, for your specific sport discipline that you're in. Simon has been doing this for a long time, and I would highly recommend first that you should read about his articles, to read about his training methods and study a little bit his principles to be able to do all of his workouts correctly. The Westside Barbell program is a proven workout system that is considered a go-to program for powerlifting, but not also for powerlifting, for overall strength. And you need the overall strength as a first step of putting the emphasis of building up explosiveness, agility, and anything else that is needed to do any type of sport that is required. So with these sections I would like to make a closure, and please let me know how did it go for you. Any feedback would mean a lot to me, so please write down in the comment section. Please like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think about it. I love you guys all, and I will try to maintain this constantly to be here with you, and I really like to just share some quality material that actually brings some results. So you will hear from me again soon.